it, I want my kids go.
So the video you just saw was DMR's reveal video, if you will, for their new game, the newest NASCAR standalone game, NASCAR Heat Evolution. As you can tell, it's really short, not much to it, but it is what it is, and it's a sign of some new hope going forward. Real quick, and then I'm going to be showing the press release from this morning at Charlotte, and that'll basically go over everything that I'm going to talk about anyways. But real quick though, first of all, who is making Heat Evolution? DMR, of course, is behind this. This is basically NASCAR 16, but they're not naming it NASCAR 16, obviously. They're naming it NASCAR Heat Evolution. And they also have Monster Games working with them on this new game. Now, if you don't know who Monster Games is, they go back to the original NASCAR games, if you will, in the early 2000s. When will Heat Evolution come out? Well, Heat Evolution will hit stores reportedly on September 13th, 2016, which is the second Tuesday after the Darlington race, so the second Tuesday after Labor Day, if that puts anything into perspective. So yeah, where can you play Heat Evolution? Heat Evolution, as already announced by DMI and could be figured anyways by fans, will be on Xbox One, PS4, and PC, not on the older consoles. Now this next one may not be a burning question in the back of your mind, but who will be on the cover of NASCAR Heat Evolution? Well, DMR has decided to run a competition between the Toyota racing drivers in tomorrow's NASCAR Sprint All-Star race, or actually by the time this goes up, most likely tonight's Sprint All-Star race. They've already released possible covers of what the game could look like depending on who wins, but that's assuming that no other Toyota racing drivers make it into the field. Anyway, so it's basically a competition between Truex, Hamlin, Busch, Edwards, Kenseth, and even DiBenedetto and Reagan if they make it in, and the highest finishing driver in the All-Star race gets the cover. Now next up, a question that I know a lot of people will have is, will Heat Evolution have multiple series? Well, the answer is no. And the answer is no, apparently, because DMR wanted to concentrate on just getting this game out on September 13th. And they hint at possibly adding it in updates or future games. Now, I find it hard that it would be in an update, so I would expect this in whatever the game following this is, unless this is supposed to be a game to build upon for years to come. What will be missing from Heat Evolution that we might have seen in the previous games? The biggest thing is DMR announced Friday, many hours after the announcement of the game in the first place, that Heat Evolution will not have a paint booth. So this means all of the custom schemes that we've seen in the last, I think, 5 years, from 2011 to Inside Line to 14 to 15, they're going to stay on those games. Not going to have them on Heat Evolution. However, if you are on Xbox One and you have Forza 6 just released a big NASCAR update, and the paint booth works fine there. And finally, what can we look forward to with NASCAR Heat Evolution? Supposedly, according to, I believe it's Matt Duesenberry, we will have a much more in-depth and realistic racing sim experience with Heat Evolution and moving forward into the future with DMR games. Hopefully this holds true as a cheaper alternative, maybe not quite as good, but an alternative to iRacing, but on the consoles. And this could also work on PC as an alternative to iRacing, it is still going to be cheaper. So hopefully we see servers, of course, and all in all, just better gameplay all around. Now, real quick, before I hand this off to the press release from earlier, it was Friday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, which was 8 a.m. Pacific. Before I go off to that, just a little bit of opinions here. On all the news today, because there has been a lot of it. I do like that DMR didn't just go solo into this. That's a great move. And I think we should expect a really, really good game in the fall. However, this really isn't coming in the fall, even though DMR said they would have this press release in July, and the game in October or November, possibly. And the effect of that is that we won't have a paint booth. And really, I feel like DMR is going to end up neglecting an entire community on these games. Now, I'm not saying it's going to completely wreck this new game, but it is going to be a huge, huge drawback for a lot of people. And I think DMR and Monster Games should have looked at this and maybe postponed until around Daytona time and had all of the 2017 Daytona schemes and had just updates monthly or bi-monthly after that to add all the 2017 schemes in. Personally, I feel like the game could have been perfected by then, and we would see a lot of the features that fans want to see, including myself. I want to see a paint booth. I'm really disappointed that there won't be a paint booth. However, in their tweets, they did hint at additions of these features later on, whether it be in updates or new games. Now, finally, this is the press release from Friday morning in Charlotte with Carl Edwards about the new game. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Hopefully you guys leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Some big news, so you'll definitely want to watch, although I did basically cover everything already in case you don't want to watch it. But it really is something to watch. This is Matt Dusenberry and Carl Edwards in Charlotte. I don't own this. I just got it with my crap Bandicam.
We have a special announcement today from NASCAR Team Properties licensee Dusenberry Martin Racing and official NASCAR partner Toyota. Joining us is Toyota driver Carl Edwards and Matt Dusenberry, Director of Revenue and Partnerships at Dusenberry Martin Racing. So following this special announcement, Carl will be available for his weekly media availability, so we'll take questions for him following the announcement, but I'll go ahead and turn it over to Matt.
Great. Thank you, Stephanie. Carl, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, Dusenberry Martin Racing is NASCAR's video game licensee, and we are 100% focused on making NASCAR digital games. We're a company full of NASCAR fans with decades of game experience located in NASCAR Plaza in Charlotte, North Carolina. On behalf of Dusenberry Martin Racing, we're thrilled to introduce NASCAR Heat Evolution, a brand new, built from the ground up Xbox One and PlayStation 4 game that will be released on September 13th of this year. NASCAR Heat Evolution is all new, a new developer, a new publisher, a new game design, and new next generation consoles. NASCAR Heat Evolution was designed to engage a new, young audience with our sport through a mass market, authentic NASCAR experience. In addition to new fans that will be introduced to our sport through this game, we also will have a great mode to appeal to hardcore simulation racers so that fans of hardcore simulation racing and new fans to the sport as well can enjoy the game. So fans can pre-order their copy of NASCAR Heat Evolution by visiting NASCARheat.com, and it's available at GameStop, Walmart, Target, and all major mass market retailers in September.
Thank you, Matt. I'm sure everyone is wondering a little bit about why Carl is up there joining you today. So could you talk us through what you have planned with Toyota?
Absolutely. So we're thrilled to announce a exciting partnership with Toyota. In addition to sponsoring Matt Tiff's Toyota Tundra in tonight's NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race, we are going to award the highest finishing Toyota driver in tomorrow night's NASCAR Sprint All-Star race with the video game cover of NASCAR Heat Evolution. So this is a first in video game history that the on-track competition will actually be tied to the video game cover and the sports franchise game.
Thank you, Matt. Carl, could you just give us your thoughts on the possibility of being on the cover of the new game?
As I'm sitting here, I'm thinking of all the different, like how strange this is for all these things to converge. You know, as a race car driver, you know, right now, at this point in my life and my career, I'm out here racing in the All-Star event for, you know, for $1 million that Sprint has put up and all the stuff that goes along with it. But growing up, my only opportunity to drive a stock car like the one I drive now in reality was through video games. And so I played a ton of video games, and I really loved driving games. So it's almost surreal to have the opportunity in my real capacity as a race car driver now to be driving for the opportunity to be on the cover of a video game that, you know, if a couple things hadn't worked out, that would be the closest I'd ever gotten to NASCAR. So it's really neat. It's an honor. I don't think anyone's ever partnered in the way that Toyota has with the video game licensee and manufacturer the way they have. So it's just a cool opportunity, and the game sounds really neat. So I look forward to the opportunity to play it, and it would be crazy to be, you know, on the cover.
Absolutely, yeah. This is actually going to be Toyota's first video game cover, and then each of the 5 eligible drivers will be, you know, your first cover potential as well. So. Well,
yeah, I hope I'm on it, and but just. It's neat for you guys to have me up here to be a part of this, because truly I had so much fun growing up, and I still do with the video game stuff. And you know, that's it's such a neat way for our fans to experience our sport. We have a very rare sport, or an opportunity that's rare in our sport, because the drivers, the participants, all we do is we push the throttle pedals and we turn the steering wheel, and people through video game technology can experience that as close as any fans can experience any sport. Because of the simulation properties that you guys are so good at. So it's cool, it's fun.
Absolutely, yeah, appreciate it. So we invite everyone to follow along throughout the weekend on social media by using the hashtag NASCAR Heat, and through our @DMR NASCAR Heat accounts. We're going to be posting updates throughout the weekend on Toyota driver running order through practices, the showdown, and the All-Star race as well. So.
Very cool.
Absolutely. And we've invited Miss Sprint Cup here today to help us unveil the 5 mock covers. So these are not final cover art, but they're just to give you a visual representation of what the game's cover should look like. So
that's cool.
I'll give her a hand. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just watch. It's all right.
Make a better picture of you.
You think? All right. All right.
That way, if I don't get it, there's still a picture like I did. Yeah. Right? Serious about my burnouts, folks. I had a good haircut, though. Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, Madison.